channel. Today I'm going to be doing my everyday makeup tutorial. So this is my very first makeup tutorial, so bear with me. I'm not claiming that I'm a beauty guru or that I've done makeup forever. This is just what I do on my face pretty much every day if I have about 10 to 15 minutes to do my makeup. So we're just going to go ahead and jump in and get started with the tutorial. So if you want to see how this looks and what I do for my everyday makeup, make sure you stay tuned. And just as a disclaimer, I did do my eyebrows before this tutorial just because it does take quite a while for me to do my eyebrows, and this would have probably been a 20-minute video. The first thing that I do is I have a fresh, clean face. Like I said, the only thing that I did do was just my eyebrows, and I put my moisturizer on. So the second thing that I do is I put my primer on, which is from Makeup From Ever, and is the HD primer. So I just take a little bit of that, just about that much, so not too much, and I kind of just dot it on my face and rub it in. You really don't need a lot. A little bit really goes a long way. And I've probably had this for a really, really long time, so a little bit goes a really long way. So do that. And then I put my foundation on, which right now I'm using MAC Studio Fix Fluid, and my color is NC45. So I just start with the pump, which is that much. I use my foundation brush. This is from Sigma. It's the F50 brush. And I just kind of stipple it on my face. I do the bottom half of my face first, just to make sure that I can get the product really in there. I stipple it on my face lightly, just to kind of get the product to sink into my skin. And then I just buff it. So that's all I'm going to do here. Just buff that into my skin. I'm actually going to take a little bit more. I have my problem areas, which are my cheeks here and kind of around my mouth. That's where a lot of my darkness is, so I tend to cover this area up just a tad bit more than like the top of my face, because the top of my face I don't really have too many blemishes or acne scars, but on my cheeks is where I get all my acne, and then that's where the acne scars lie, so I like to get those nice and covered up. And I'm kind of using the same lotions. And make sure you get underneath your chin too and down to your neck, just to make sure that your entire face is getting that same kind of product there. So that's pretty much for the bottom half, and then I'll just take the rest of my foundation I have on my hand and I stipple it on the top of my forehead. And kind of get really close to your hairline so you're not getting that weird separation from like your hairline and where you have placed foundation. And I did do my eyebrows, and I just forgot about that because I just rubbed all over them, so I'm going to have to clean those up a little bit when I get to that part. Okay, so that's my foundation. So there. So the next thing I do is I put my concealer on, and the concealer that I'm using right now is Mineralize Concealer from MAC, and it's an NC45. So this is a concealer that's the color of my skin, and this is really, like I said, to kind of just cover up some of my problem areas. So I've got a blemish there, and I got a couple there, and then I got some action happening here. And I do a little bit around my mouth because it's kind of dark around there. And for this, I just use my finger to kind of help press it in. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I use my little sponge here to kind of blend it out a little bit more. So these are like actually like blemishes, so they're not going to be completely covered because they're bumps, and concealer is not going to cover a bump, but it will cover a dark spot. So that will remain, which I'm okay with. So that's kind of around my mouth, and then I'm just gonna, don't really have too much over here. I'm just gonna dab that in there. Okay, so that's all I do for my concealer to kind of cover up some of my blemishes. And then I also use another concealer, and this is Maybelline concealer, and I think it's from, oh, the light is really bad. I think it's from the FIT collection, if I'm not mistaken, and my color is Deep Fonce. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. And I basically just draw a triangle. And all this is going to do is just help lighten, or not lighten, but brighten up my under eye. And I use my fingers for this as well, and I'll go back over it with my sponge. And you'll be able to tell the difference here in a second. The difference it makes when it brightens up your face. This is like one of my favorite little tricks that I learned. It just makes a huge difference. Especially those mornings when you wake up and you look like you got zero sleep, or maybe you really did get zero sleep. This is a perfect little trick to kind of brighten up your eyes a little bit. Brighten up your face. So I take that and get it really good in there. So you don't want any weird like creasing. So you can see how this area is like now really, really bright. Huge difference. So I'll do the same thing on this side. And you want to just keep it in that triangle area because that's where light will naturally hit your face. You don't want to kind of go all over the place because then you're going to get some weirdness happening. And with the sponge, you really just want to kind of pounce it on your face. You don't want to move it because then you'll move the product. So, as you see, like, my face, like, the light is naturally kind of drawing right to this area, and it just really brightens up my eyes, which I love. So that's what I do. And then the next thing you want to do, you want to make sure you set everything that you kind of just did, especially your concealer. If you do not set your concealer, it will oh my god, what I'm trying to say, it will crease. So you want to make sure that you set your concealer. Most important part. And then kind of just set the rest of your foundation as well. And everything else that you just did. So I'm just going to take my little spoolie here for my eyebrows because I kind of jacked them up a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of a little jacked. So I'm just gonna fix a little area that I kind of messed up. And this is the eyebrow pencil that I do use. It's from MAC. It's spiked is the color. And I basically just kind of draw in some areas that are a little sparse. That's all. Nothing fancy, but I like to get pretty precise, so that's why I didn't film that portion of the video because it can take quite a while. So just fix those up, and I put concealer right underneath and on top just to kind of give me that really clean, like I just went and got my eyebrows waxed kind of look. So the next thing I do is I move on to my eyes. And like I said, this is my everyday makeup, so I don't really do too much with my eyes for every day. But I use MAC Paintpot in Groundwork, and I just rub that on my eye. And that's basically like my base color. well, really technically like the only color I use. Again, this just kind of brightens up my eyes, and plus it's a very neutral color, so it allows me to do anything else with my cheeks or anything else with my lips if I choose to do so. So I do that, and then I take my Naked 2 palette, palette, and I put Booty Call in my brow bone, and that's just to kind of highlight this area again. I'm really big into highlighting. It just makes a difference to me, I think. Not too much. So, there's that. Just right here. And got some like extra-ness here. Okay, so just there. And then I do my eyeliner, which is just a Wet n Wild gel liner, and it's from the Fergie collection. No color, but I'm assuming it's probably some like black is black or the blackest black you can ever find. Some crazy title. And I'm using just my eyeliner pencil from MAC, and I just pull my eye and glide the eyeliner over my eye. Ew. It's like some cruddy stuff. I like to use a gel liner because you get a really good precise line without it being too wet from liquid. So it's like the perfect combination for me, for what I like. So I don't go all the way in either because, holy moly, huge mistake. I don't go all the way in either because I don't really like that look. I just kind of go about 3/4 and I leave like that area empty. I'm not going to do any under the eye. That varies. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Today I choose not to do so. So the next thing I'm going to do is just curl my eyelashes. It's my eyelash curler. And 10 seconds pump. Okay. Same thing on this side. And the mascara that I'm using is from Benefit, and it's Bad Girl Lash. Really like this stuff. This bristle is huge. It picks up every little eyelash that you could possibly have or find. God, I am just making so many mistakes. Anyways, which is why I like it a lot. Sorry, I know this is really like in your face weird. This is another part that tends to take me a little bit longer, and mainly because I give my eyelashes about 2 to 3 coats. I like really big eyelashes. Alright, that's enough mascara for the purposes of this video. Don't have my Q-tips handy. Anyways, doesn't really make a difference. So, once I'm done with my eyes, I go ahead and just apply my blush. This is my everyday blush. It's from MAC. It's just a really pretty neutral brown, and it has a little bit of shimmer in it. More of a frost, but it's really pretty, I think. And it's perfect for every day because it doesn't really take away from your face. Just kind of gives you that really natural kind of glow. And yes, I still do the smile check, and I do bring it all the way up because I really like that look. And I kind of do the temples on my forehead because it's like a brownish color, so it kind of looks like a bronzer, but it's really not. And I use it as an eyeshadow, and I kind of just sweep it up there. And what that does is just kind of shapes my face a little bit more. And sometimes I do down here if I'm feeling really up to it. I'm really feeling fancy. So with the blush on, like, you can really tell a difference, like that brightness right there. And last but not least, I've already prepped my lips, but my lips have been getting so chapped lately. Put a little more Carmex on, or not Carmex, but what is this stuff? Burt's Bees. This is the replenishing formula. Love this stuff. That or Carmex. Those are my best friends for lip moisturizers. So, my lip choice for today, and this changes pretty much every day. Like, it just really depends on kind of what I really want to do. So this is Modesty Cream Sheen from MAC. That's what that looks like. It's like a pretty nude pinky color. I don't know. And that on the lips. And last but not least, I put this on, which is Snob from MAC, and I think it goes over Modesty so beautifully, and it kind of brightens it up and makes it a little more pink, which I think is pretty. So that is my completed look. Oh, one last thing. So to set everything, I used my De Slick Oil Control makeup from Urban Decay. This stuff is great. I have really oily skin in my T-zone area, and this helps control that. So I just spray a few sprays of that, let it sit in my skin, and I'm done for the day. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please leave any questions, comments below, and I will talk to you guys later in another video. Thank you. Bye.